What up, folks? Shadow Gauge here, aka Too Lo-Fi. Um, Basically, I just kind of want to do a quick overview of this to explain a few concepts with stereo that, kind of escaped me for a long time. Go ahead and I was playing around with it, set this back to normal, turn off. Okay, so what I have is a simple mono bass. Just oh wait. Sorry, let me go ahead and turn the chorus off. And of course, if I go to side, there's no side information. It's mono. Um, so what I kind of want to cover is what's not really being said with a lot of this, and what I think is escaping most people is that everybody thinks of left and right as two channels, but you can have multiple channels on your left and your right. Like it's, and that's really where the stereo comes into play. So what I've done is I've taken, and that's just decoding a signal that's with dual mono, so if I just go here, let's just go ahead and put it on left for the hell of it. I'm basically, and you only hear it in one ear, because it's encoding the information. But if you notice, it is encoding side information here. Like that's, between the left and the stereo left and the left and right. And then, it is actually, I guess I'll explain this too. So this is if I pull this up here, so the second channel is just this. So this is the signal dry, which is, mono. And this is the correlation between the left-right, the right and stereo left, left and stereo left, and left and stereo right signals. Because you really do need to change your paradigm here. Because stereo's not left and right. Okay? It's not. There's even, I think I can monitor LFE channels on here too. If I go here to 2.1, I can look at the LFE channel. If the file happens to have an LFE channel, that one I was like, what the fuck is an LFE channel? like 20 years of doing this, I'd never heard of an LFE channel. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, so kind of back to this. So I'm just going to go over the different modes here because people just, it's really information's not covered. So if I put it in line, boom, I have a mono signal. There's no side information being generated whatsoever. Let's go ahead and put this back in stereo. And if I'm in line and I invert one of the channels, notice that this goes sideways. That means that I'm only getting a side signal now. There is no mid information. And, the correlation meter is, this is not balanced. Having that is going to mess up your track. Okay. So, but if I come over here and I switch this, now the thing is it's going to sound the same whether it's in, well, not exactly. It sounds, there's subtle differences in this because the signal is, because I am using a pure mono signal to do this. So, if you notice, you can only hear it in the left ear because it's stereo now. It's no longer mono. And it has both the mid and the side signals. It has two signals there, but it is actually encoding it onto one channel. Okay, so I have basically two channels worth of information going into one channel. Same if I encode it here. If I encode it, you'll notice it's not so bright. I have not been able to find any information on what's actually going on here, but I know that when I don't account for the stereo signal separate from my left and right signals, I run into a lot of issues, to the extent where in the past, not knowing any of this stuff, I would avoid a lot of design techniques because it would have issues, To demonstrate this, I'll go ahead and turn this off. And yeah, there's the mid signal and there's the side signal. And you notice that the mid signal's on the left channel and the side signal, stereo signal, is on the right channel. But I'm generating. Thing is even though you can't hear the information, it's there. So it still exists, even though the signal is canceling itself out. Okay? And if you don't have that information there, because you don't include it, because you can't hear it, obviously, then in the end, you're going to run into problems with certain stereo systems, like a Bose Pro system, for instance, which they have in a lot of bars, places that have TVs, and so it's like, for your music to be broadcast compatible, you have to keep this in mind, or you could pay a ridiculous amount at a studio to have it done, which not exactly a poster boy for capitalism, I'll say that. But so I'll turn this off, and I will set this to inline, and then I will bring up the chorus. Problem here is, I'm having issues with my balance and my correlation. It's not balanced, and the issues with the CorrelMeter, it's going to be hard to get it up to -7 loops because of this. But it's a nice signal, right? I'll play around here, so inverting it. Way off the charts, right? Way off the charts. So what happens if we not as bad. At this point, I could control. I could go in with an EQ and fix the problems I'm having. At this point, I can fix the problems with an EQ. And it's fairly balanced. It's not super balanced, but it sounds balanced. The sound is there, and that's really what matters, right? But anyway, if we were to go in and let's just play around, let's decode this information. And I'm doing this with a bass on purpose, just because, the fact of the matter is, if you can fix the correlation on a wide sub, then you probably know what you're doing with stereo, right? So, if we go ahead and, yeah, and here's the other thing too. Like, if I just turn this off and you just see my left and the right signal here. And if I go, here's stereo left. But there's no I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it's kind of why I don't. I mean, I'll kind of use chorus now, but I really don't like using chorus in this way, just because. I'd rather. The better way to do this would be to use two channels, and on one channel, generate my mid signal, and on the other channel, generate my side signal, and then combine the two. And that way I have a wide balanced synth. And I really only do that with my main focus instruments. Any other instruments, I can pan left or pan right. I don't need them to be girthy. And that's really what this is it's if I come in here and let's go ahead and encode. Let's put it there. Sorry, I'm just kind of playing around. I'm like, I've never really. One thing about doing tutorials, I learned a lot of things doing tutorials. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But long story short here. Okay, fine, I'll go ahead. See, isn't that fun? I shouldn't have done that. Sorry about that. Anyway, this is really, kind of a moot point on this, just because it is a VST. So, but there's no added stereo information. Any of the information that is stereo, I'm really adding myself. It's just funny. But and that's the other thing too, is like you kind of run into problems with if I put this in line here. It's wonky, But fact of the matter is you want to make sure that you are generating your mid signal you want to make sure that signal is good. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I just kind of wanted to do a quick overview on this to show that there's some things that are happening that I mean, obviously there's a mid and a side channel, and if I do this, even though I'm not hearing anything in my left ear, very little. And if I do this, I'm hearing nothing. That doesn't really work, but hey, it was worth a shot, right? Anyway, so this isn't meant to explain anything. This isn't really meant to, this is more or less just meant to really show how to navigate your stereo image. And I'm probably going to do a couple more tutorials on ways to generate a stereo image that don't fuck up your your phase, you know. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully there's something to take out of this, and have a beautiful day.